consultant. I work from remote. But I wanted to just discuss with you about the issue of clean water, which is a pandemic, which all may be able to be aware. Not only a pandemic here in the States, but it's also a pandemic in Africa for the most part. So I'm going to go through the slides here because I want you to be able to put that into perspective and be able to understand exactly what we are talking about. You probably know, the map of Africa. I thought I would put that in here so that you can have an idea. And I don't know much statistics when it comes to West Africa, most Central, Southern Africa, East Africa. But I'm going to concentrate with talking about the Sub-Saharan Africa and maybe Southern Africa, and and mostly I will land in Zimbabwe because that's where I come from. That's more of the stats I have. That's where we as Drill4Life are doing more work in there, and I'll tell you about Drill4Life when we get closer. But Africa is actually the second driest, as you can see there, the second driest continent in the world, and there's issue there with water scarcity, and water crisis is a major issue, and not because of anything, but because of climate change and water pollution, deforestation, and obviously poor water management. And there is always issues in Africa when it comes to management, but some of it is just climate change, which is definitely a big issue there. And from statistics, you can see there 411 million Africans still lack access to safe water, and almost 3/4 don't benefit from safely managed sanitation services. That's from a data from 2023 by United Nations. And according to UNICEF, approximately 319 million people in sub-Saharan Africa do not have access to improved library of water sources. And 319 million people in this day and age don't have access to clean and sanitized water. That's staggering. That's really staggering. And globally, a total of 394 children under the age of 5 die, because of inadequate water, wash services, and that's a lot. And you can see close to 250, of those are just in sub-Saharan Africa, just in the southern part of Africa, and that's not acceptable. And then when you look at just sub-Saharan Africa, there's 3 children die every minute because of waterborne diseases. That's a lot of people that are dying with something that we can control, something that we can do something about. And this is why we talked about, we wanted to discuss about water, because just like air we breathe, water is a human right. I don't have to struggle breathing. Once I struggle breathing, I'm dead. But clean water should be a human right, and it is a human right. It needs us to be able to support that human right portion of it, because there are some people who are underprivileged. They don't have access to it, which is where we are going to talk about, Drill4Life, right? Because we, as an organization, Drill4Life, we come in to just fill that gap. Okay, so Drill4Life was established back in 2011, And the idea, honestly, when we started, it wasn't even anything about an organization. I had lived in this country for 10 years without going back home. And when I went home, I realized that the normal life that I had lived in the rural areas wasn't normal to me anymore. Because when I grew up, I did not have access to clean water. And clean water wasn't a thing. I would go to school and I would take buckets of water, empty buckets, and on my way to school, leave those empty buckets by the river, by the creek. On my way from school, which was almost like 15, 20 miles away. And then on my way back from school, we'll fetch water from the river. That's the water to drink. That's the water to bathe. That's the water for all household uses. That was the water. So never did I ever think that I need clean water for me to survive. Did I have bilharzia? Of course I did when I was younger. Did I have diarrhea from unsanitized water? Of course I did. Did I see children dying because of unsanitary water or unclean water? Of course I did. But that was not even, I did not have a solution for that. There was no solution for me. So after I went back after 10 years and I realized that, my family, my own family was going 7 kilometers, almost 6 miles to fetch dirty water and come back, and they created a big drum. In this drum they put sand, so they would put water on top of in the drum, and the sand in the middle would filter it, and then it would come underneath, and that's the water they drank. And it was doomed to be clean water. Well, then I said to myself, this is not normal. I decided to take pictures, I decided to take videos, and then I had met someone here in Columbus. She had said, please, when you go, you can let me know what I can do to help. And so, I realized that's the help I needed. So when I started sending her some pictures, some videos, and when I came back with those pictures and videos, I said, we have to help my family. And so the idea in 2011 was to have a well for my village. That was the idea. And so when we started, what did I do?
Just touch that.
Just touch. Let's touch it.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes.
Okay, sorry.
It is died down. So.
Thank you. I'll keep on touching it.
Sorry, I'm walking up and down because some students are supposed to come and visit or anything.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So again, our immediate focus was to just have clean water. To help, the village that I was from. But when we did that well, we realized that the need was more, because more people from so many other villages were coming to drink clean water. Now, you and I understand we have clean water. When you're having a child that is testing clean water for the first time, you are going to have your head drop because you can tell it tastes different. It's clean. It's fresh. It's not like the water from the creek. It's not like the water from the dam, which they would drink in there with animals and cattle, goats, and who knows, whoever want to use to dump their stuff in the water. That was what was causing people, what's always causing people diseases. So when we started, we did, we realized that we can do more, right? So in 2012, in 2014, we registered Drill4Life as a 501c3 organization. Because what we did was we did not want to go and partner with another organization. We tried. We went to a few churches. We reached out to a few organizations. But here's the problem. When we reached out to those organizations, they said, yes, we can do it, But the problem was they go through the government when we raise funds here, and they go through the government so that they can drill wells for the villagers. Well, in my country, I don't know about your countries. In my country, there's corruption. The money that is raised, if it goes through the government, it does not, all of it does not get to the end user. It gets used. So we decided we were not going to do that. We wanted to raise the funds, and we wanted to make sure that the funds get to the end user, to the villagers, to the people that need the water, without anyone using it. So we created a board. Our board has 9 folks who are volunteers. None of them get paid. They use their family time, they use their business time, they use their professional time, they use their spare time to help Drill4Life. Helping people that they've never met in the country. And that's amazing. And today, we have one of our board members, Janelle. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have local support on the ground in Zimbabwe. We have 2 guys there that help us, especially when we need things to be done. When we find an area that there's a need, they actually go to verify if the need is real. Because we get a lot of requests by farmers. Can I have a well, a borehole on my land? We get a lot of requests from individuals that want a well on their own space. But we drill clean water wells only, only in the areas that we have villages. So our mission is to save remote villages in the sub-Saharan Africa. That's our mission. We don't drill clean water wells in the city. Okay, yes. Do they need clean water wells? Some of those areas they do, because they run out of the council water or the city water. They run out of it. But we are not targeting the city. We are targeting villagers, those people that have been forgotten by the government. That's what we target. So you can see here, if you can see, just the pictures of villagers that are happy to drink clean water. It's amazing what comes out of it. So what we are trying to do to eliminate the source of water that they are currently using, because these are what is called open well source of water, right? You can tell there is no way that water can be clean. There's no way. You can tell this is the water that they're sharing with animals. You can tell there's increased risk of waterborne diseases. Why am I special that I am drinking the clean water and this human is drinking dirty water? There's nothing special about me. Every one of us, we're as special as God created us. So we have to figure out how can we help these people that are under. It's a penny. Your penny, it's your 5 cents, it's your dollar that's going to be able to help. And also being able to trust the organization that that is doing those kind of work, so that everyone can be able to get that water. So I have a video here real quick. I don't know if it plays. We'll see. Is it connected to Wi-Fi?
It is.
Should be. Okay.
Should be, but if you have downloaded a link, it is not, but it is connected to it.
If not, that's okay. We
No,
can.
it is that. It's a Wi-Fi. You know the link of this one, so we can. It's a YouTube, right?
Yeah. doesn't play, it's fine.
Just one. If something shows up, so it's in the
I have another one. That's okay. Let's
Yeah,
move
yes,
on.
yes,
Yeah, well, yeah, I have another one in the yeah.
Okay,
That's
that's
perfectly
fine.
fine.
Because that
Yeah.
link, yeah, it's.
Yeah, it's not good. That's fine.
Yeah, so it's from the YouTube, but I try to open that from YouTube, but it's
Yeah.
okay, it's fine. So
Yeah.
I added it.
So, yeah,
over
we'll-
to then I said, yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
take your
definitely.
time, so I said,
Yeah.
it will come in few minutes, okay.
Okay.
Oops,
So yeah, we'll,
sure, thank you.
all right. So okay.
Yeah,
So
that's fine. Thank you.
So we have quite a number of wells right now, you know, in Zimbabwe. And are we getting a lot of other countries that are asking us or sending requests? Of course we are. We're getting a lot of requests from other countries, but you know, unfortunately, we know we don't have the logistics. Okay, so you know, you can see those areas which we have some clean water wells, and I'll tell you one of the challenges that we actually have. You know, when it comes to having these clean water wells, and I'll also tell you what those red ones, you know, mean. So the first challenge that we have is the water tables are actually deeper now. The water tables are lower, more than before, and maybe that's because of global warming. You know, we have had a couple of years where we had drought. You know, so there has not been, there's not been rain. So when there's no rain, the water tables go deeper, and unfortunately, that's the case. We are hoping that in this country, there's going to be rain this year. That's number one. That's one of the challenges. And another challenge that we also have is that when the water table is deep, we have challenge where they cannot heat water, right? So the surveyor or the siter goes and they site the land, and sometimes they could be able to say, we found water at 75 meters deep. Well, at 75 meters deep, we get there, we drill, there's no water at 75. We go let's go 5 meters deeper. There's no water at 5 meters deeper, right? So maybe water is found at 90 meters deeper, But here's the problem. We still have to pay the cost of drilling. Because the driller does not guarantee water. The siter does not guarantee water. They are going to give you, the estimates. They are going to give you the perspective of this is what our machines are finding, but they cannot guarantee water. So we still have to pay for that, for those drills. And then another big challenge we also have is transportation on the ground. We don't have transportation on the ground, and so we have to depend on hiring cars or hiring trucks, for our guys from moving from one point to another. Most of these villages are probably 2.5 to 3 hour drive to get to, because they're very remote. Those are the areas which we don't have a lot of clean water. And then obviously we don't have consistent corporate sponsors. This is our biggest challenge. We don't have consistent corporate sponsors. If we could be able to continue to reach out to companies, continue to reach out to other organizations, we can have a cash flow that is going to allow us to continue moving, oiling our tires, oiling our movements, so we can be able to keep moving. Right now, we depend on 3 fundraising events. The first event we do is in May. We do a golf tournament in May. The second event we do in August or September, around there. We do a barbecue event. And the third event is actually coming up, November 2nd. We're going to do a 5K run. Hopefully you guys can join us.
I posted that one.
Awesome. So we're going to do a 5K run. All these events raise money. Penny comes in, penny goes out. We have some other, well-wishers that also feel they donate. So if you go on our website, there's a way that you can donate on a monthly basis, to continue to, to do
literally
that.
well-wishers. I'm saying they are literally well-wishers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well wishers.
Yeah, well-wishers.
Well.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, but my question, I mean, I have a few questions on what you talk
Okay.
about. I'll keep it for the end.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. One of the type of pumps that we use is called bush pump. I'm gonna show you, the bush pump. Bush pump is the one that, if you go back here, it's the one that it's the one that you pump. This is the bush pump. Okay, you pump up and down, up and down, up and down. Now the problem with that bush pump is that when the water is when the water is deeper, or when the well is too low, right? It becomes heavier for our elderly and for our children. So we have partnered with a company that is called Design Outreach, and the company managed to, we bought a what is called a life pump from this company. The life pump is a wonderful pump because it allows children, it allows elderly to actually pump water without too much energy. It's like just cycling in a bike. Okay.
Pedaling,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. You can actually just and also you'll see a video there that you're going to see. Okay. So in as much as we love a bush pump, it has served its purpose, and we are going to continue using it. It's very durable, but I think when we want to move forward and we use technology, we're gonna move into the life pump. Is it cheap? No, it's not cheap. But here are some advantages of a life pump. Number one, it can go deeper, right? It can go deeper. It can go to even 90 plus meters. Now, what is 90 meters in feet?
That's a good question.
Like 350, maybe.
Yeah.
Janelle, if you don't mind, Google it for me.
So yeah, it's.
I'm gonna let the students do it.
What's that?
It is, how much is the 90?
90. Let's say 90. Yeah, that would be what? 375 feet.
Because it's 3 feet per meter.
90. Just,
In feet.
180.
yes.
100 what?
It actually comes, 90 meters is 295. I think around,
295 feet.
around 300 feet, yeah, 90 meters.
About 300 feet. Okay. So this pump can go deeper, and this pump is also a GPS. So if you look on the little box which is right there, there is actually a GPS in there, so we can actually monitor the usage of that pump, from here, which helps because we can be able to say, okay, this particular pump is not being used as much as we would want. Or we can say this pump is actually, the water level is low, so we need someone to go and fix it, before the issue goes bad. Okay, and once again, it can be installed in really greater depth, and it's easy to maintain. Okay, very easy to maintain. So what is our vision? Our vision is to have probably 1 well per quarter. If we can do 1 well per quarter, that would help. Maybe 4 wells per year. If we could do 5, if we can reach 10, it's our wish. Because if 1 well is helping up to 3,000 people, if 1 well is helping up to 3,000 people, tell me how many people can be helped by 10 wells? Right? Quite a lot. That's quite a lot. That's a lot of people. So that's what we're hoping. If we could do 100 wells by 2030, we have saved lives. Maybe a child that was supposed to die because of waterborne diseases is not going to die anymore. right? And it's just because we are continuing to create this awareness. We need you all to understand. When you do understand, you can tell your neighbor, you can tell your friend. And sometimes it's not because you can be able to afford a penny or you can afford $5. That's not the point. The point is you now are aware that there are some people that don't have access to it. You now are aware that you can tell your friend that, look, we can't waste water because someone doesn't have it, right? Or maybe you are aware that, hey, this organization is having an event. Let's go support it, right? That's you being present. You can also be able to say, let's go and volunteer at this organization because we want to make sure that we continue to serve people. All right. So these are our wish, approximately 100 clean water wells, hopefully by 2030, eliminate waterborne diseases. Really, we want to make sure we continue to reduce those children that die. And we want to make sure that children that go to school have access to water. In our country, there's children that go to school and they don't learn. They don't learn because you know why? Because the teachers who are living at the schools, they don't have water. So when children come, they're asked to go to the river to go fetch water instead of learning.
But I came from a country it used to happen, so I understand.
You understand, right? Instead of learning, they're going to fetch water for the teachers.
Oh.
That's unfair. Right? It is absolutely unfair. So we need to continue to do that. And we need to continue to provide that, clean water. So I have a quick video. Hopefully this one plays. Hopefully this one plays. I just click that. I can copy and paste, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you on the YouTube and I think it should go. Yeah, it's in the YouTube. Right? You click it over there,
Yeah.
and it should go there directly.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, you can. Pause it, yeah, like that.
Let's see.
Even that one you had it,
Yeah.
you can go there, the copy and paste, and it will go there. Right click and yeah. That's what you do. I think that's pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. There we go.
Usually that hyperlink is done.
Yeah. Control V,
Not
maybe.
quick enough.
Yeah, this is the one. So let's see.
What do you do?
It's already this is the link, but it is not.
Try to hit the yeah. There we go.
In that case, if it's waiting on there, or there, it should. Okay. Sometimes science takes one.